Focal FM 105.3, the purest station in broadcasting. Focal FM 105.3, the purest station in broadcasting. Focal FM 105.3, the purest station in broadcasting.
Tabe. Oh, my picking one of the job banking on us. So look at him, man. You know, you have a Focal Radio 105.3.
From the innovative hub in Battery Factory, this is Focal FM 105.3.
Yeah. See you look at the GC as chairman, who was legitimately appointed, subsequently confirmed, was sacked unlawfully on job. They took the matter to court and they won the case. Some of the police and then went to court and betting their money. Talu did not go to court. The central bank, the former central bank government, Talu, they pay you full amount. The deputy I think was deputy for corporation at central bank or human PSC, she will also pay off. Zutanon Tatos, the money was partially paid, and the reason why they even paid that Zutanon Tatos money was when they brought the confirmation of planning master query and all of that, said, well, say you guys have gone to move the men, the president has gone to remove them. And the court ruled that these people should retain their job or they pay them, you have to pay the money in full. That was the condition in which was confirmed. So if these people have paid our brother money, and not pay. Not that the president is not in the know, not that the bad president is not in the know. They are all in the know. I have process on it. As we speak, do they want Garrison to be roaming around? I'm a senator of the country. And these are my senators. If I don't talk for them, who will talk for them? Then when I talk, they say, "Boga, I want to bring confusion." It's not confusion. That's a full response. That's my full responsibility. I will on behalf of the people. And still on the issue. Minister Pay was dismissed from the government. Even though the Constitution provides that anybody that is nominated, subsequently appointed by the president, is at the will and pleasure of the president. But if what I saw is a character driven, you can't look at somebody who has built a character over the years and dismissed without giving account to the public. How will you get faced in the public? Then some other people from Nima youth put on the Facebook, we might be like me, man. You know, it's okay, you make any other question. But at least you qualify as a competent in buying that will recognize by the government. It's a pride. Not what he will give you. These are the messages permeating all over. We meet and discuss with them. Even when my brother Tima were nominated before the confirmation, I told her, I said, well, the issue, I'm not happy the way we don't move. But Equally so, I'm a senator and a mayor who is nominating is on the back. I cannot stop him. And we went through and supported a confirmation process. He confirmed today. Then when you want to know that he and I interact on a daily basis, I don't have no problem with him. So all these individuals, Musa Belete. Musa Belete is a representative, but he got connected before being representative. He got assets. As soon as we heard that Musa is trying to contest for presidency, all his assets begin to stimulate him out of business. As Unatoge, as a senator of the country, why the Sudan Musa is a representative? He wanted to change my senator. That will address the concern. These are issues that people are looking at saying this man want to create a problem. One of the crimes I ever committed is to talk about all the country. Equal work for equal pay. One of the major crimes I've ever committed in the hands of people is giving money to insult me with an agreement on the rate, including some journalists. I never told him which university I graduated from. He got on exam and telling me. They want jumping over bringing by the trouble at the yeah, he come on 4 knee. Senator Samuel Kunga. I got it. The child. You think if the president, let me agree, he may say to the public, oh, I don't see everywhere, I don't know everywhere. For every office that was take major issue to engage a senator of a country, the president or the vice president will be too. But it will be denied. Now, all you see now, I don't know about it. But evidently, the fact that the man is employed in your office on payroll and make a statement, how will you responsible? You can't escape it. Then we didn't stop there. The other grouping that they gave them job, I don't know where. Somebody people there would get in time with them, would give respect them now. And the woman there, we used to respect them, we get time. The temple of our boss. Openly on the field. God see our way. The father and I are best friends. I told him, I said, look, bring our post now. That traditional rabbi who said, look at it, open dangerous. But God, I can born. Yes. I never went further because his father, I know his father never worked. Yeah, I went together before. That close relationship. Baby, that to put him more on because I spoke on Washington University. I didn't saw anybody. I spoke. What is the issue? Then start up women. These are people that the vice president gave their job personally. He goes on the social media and says, "No, you don't respect yourself. Who will deal with you?" Then you look at somebody. No, for example, yes, not do. He will officially employ, appointed to manage this identical radio station that we are speaking from. He will offer to the country resources carrying him for study. Whatsoever the resources coming from, we don't know. But we're happy that he one of the sons that have gone for foreign study. But for him to sit to any learning and insult me on the Facebook as well. And when I call it e-bus. The e-bus, this is my man. You try to realize your son. He always attacking me. Then you got a person Koto, who was one of the presidential appointees that through the instrumentality of the vice president, he got a job. He's saying that for me, the vice president is the one that gave me a job. Anybody that told the vice president, I will deal with the question. I will get done in public. They myself, who is a problem in the country. So when you insulting me, I should not let the foreign know that you're insulting me. Man, I either going to go away. A woman. I'm going to see the vice president. Let me tell you something. When I was contesting 2024, the vice president was not supporting me, but I went to him and he got a text. The vice president, I came to get a blessing and contest. So, well, over, I will not support you. I said, I'm not problem, but I get to check because you are vice president of the country. I mean, the country is from country. I left. When I'm going to do the same thing, the photograph and then it with because look, let me tell you something. There are some criteria that no matter how you deny it, people will not believe it. The fact that you went there and the photographer and portray it to be that you want to beg for money to then and bring her, they will not put you. They will show you no who still was. We yet to know whether action was taken on the political person because post in our hearing. They were taking and sent to him to be aware that one of your associates had done this. Well, any action had been taken where we yet to know. And no point in time, as Samuel Kuba would say that the troll rat and harm himself. Most of the things that happen in the country, people say, I thought, and the people thought is the best person. But the person who has himself.
Lamino feature is being written by the leaders people. The Anti-Baba Gala Foundation is leading that charge, transforming dreams into realities and unlocking doors for the next generation. Every day for this month, we are dedicated to empowering youth and enhancing educational opportunities through financial aid, community initiatives, and innovative programs. We strive to foster excellent personal growth and global engagement by providing resources such as scholarships, training, and platforms for young voices. The everyday foundation, our commitment to building a brighter future for our community, drive us to collaborate with international partners and expand our reach, ensuring that every child has an opportunity to succeed.
We vision a world where every young person has access to quality education, meaningful career development, and the resources necessary to thrive. Through our initiatives, we aim to create a vibrant community of empowered youth who contribute positively to national development. By fostering collaboration and innovation, we seek to break down barriers, amplify voices, and cultivate a culture of excellence and opportunity for all. We provide strategic coaching, leadership development, and mentorship programs. We equip youth with the skills, confidence, and guidance needed to become productive citizens and future leaders of Liberia.
Our valedictorian mentorship program provides continuous support and guidance to high-achieving students to Sarah High School across Monterrey in Victoria District Number 13. ABJ Foundation. We connect valedictorians to mentors who help them navigate academic, professional, and personal development challenges while preparing them for greater opportunities in higher education and leadership.
We believe that investing in young people today is an investment in a stronger and prosperous Liberia tomorrow. We work with children between the ages of 5 to 13 in our 3-month Kid Literacy Reading Program. We enhance their reading, writing, and comprehension skills while building their confidence in communication and public speaking. We nurture excellence, promote educational achievement, and encourage civic responsibility. We help shape the generation of informed, ethical, and community-minded leaders.
ABJ Foundation, we are dedicated to collaborating with all stakeholders to inspire employment, youth participation, and leadership, as these are pillars of democratic governance and sustainable development. ABJ Foundation is your path to professional success, where together we bring innovation to leadership. Focus Straight Talk is proudly sponsored by Andy Bogajala Foundation, empowering young minds, building future leaders, and transforming communities through mentorship, education, and opportunity. Andy Bogajala Foundation, transforming dreams into realities, unlocking doors for the next generation.
In a nation yearning for accountability, justice, and genuine progress, Focal Straight Talk emerges as a bold and uncompromising voice for the Liberian people. Focal Straight Talk on Focal Radio 105.3 is a thought-provoking platform dedicated to promoting good governance, defending the rule of law, and advancing the national interest above all other considerations. Join Focal Straight Talk every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. Focal Straight Talk, the platform that stands firmly against corruption, impunity, nepotism, patronage, abuse of power, and every form of governance that undermines growth and development. Focal Straight Talk, built on the ideology of radical progressivism, the belief that Liberia's advancement must always take precedence over political loyalty, tribal identity, religious affiliation, and personal interest. Focal Straight Talk, where we erect checkpoints against mediocrity, push back against betrayal of public trust, and challenge the misuse of national resources. On Focal Straight Talk, we do not avoid difficult conversations. We critically examine national issues with honesty, courage, and intellectual rigor. On Focal Straight Talk, we challenge public officials, policymakers, community leaders, and citizens alike to place the motherland above self-interest and uphold the values of democracy. Focal Straight Talk, where informed citizens become engaged citizens, and engaged citizens become empowered citizens. Focal Straight Talk, not a platform for blind partisanship. Focal Straight Talk, not a platform for political propaganda. Focal Straight Talk, a forum for truth, reason, accountability, and constructive national discourse. On Focal Straight Talk, we applaud good leadership wherever it exists and expose wrongdoing wherever it is found, regardless of political affiliation, social status, or influence. On Focal Straight Talk, we do not mince our words. We ask hard questions, confront uncomfortable realities, and champion ideas that strengthen democracy, transparency, and national development. Focal Straight Talk, where truth confronts power, where accountability drives progress, and where Liberia comes first. Only on Focal Radio 105.3, the voice of the slum, bringing innovation to broadcasting.
What a great way I like to. What a great way I like to welcome you to Focus Straight Talk. What a great way I like to welcome you to Focus Straight Talk on Focal Radio 105.3. Today is Monday. Today is August 24th in the year 2026. As your regular presenter of Focus Straight Talk on Focal Radio 105.3, My name is E. Chidega Gaswa Senior, and I'm here this evening, a brand new week with a lot of energy to do the job. The Liberian people, most especially, expect us to do without any political biases. So that's what we are here to do this evening, to do what we are called to do for the Liberian people. You see, the work we do, it is a critical job. The work we do is almost like advocacy. Because basically, as journalists, as fourth estate in 18th century Britain, where you have the House of you have the Parliament, you have the House of Commoners, you have the fourth estate. And the fourth estate, we are charged with the responsibility to inform the people. Yeah, it is our responsibility as a watchdog of society to inform the people. And as much as we keep our integrity intact, we do not get ourselves conflicted with conflict of interest. We are not accused of blackmailing or taking political sides. Rather, we will always remain relevant in our democratic space. Because when you have the opposition, you have the ruling class, and you have those who are not politically aligned or they cannot be politically identified. When when the Liberian people are not sure who to listen to, the credible voice, opposition saying their own, the ruling party saying their own, propagandists saying their own, people who maybe the opposition hire, the ruling establishment hire to, send their own narrative outside to the Liberian people. We come in the middle. We as journalists come in the middle to give the actual information to our Liberian people. And in our line of duty, we sometimes become target. People bring all the label us because everything we're fighting against in society, the ills we are fighting against in society, the ills we are speaking against in society, they are beneficiary. There are people who are benefiting. Even the ordinary people who we speak for. We put our life on the line. We risk our survivability. These people who we talk for at times, they go for us. They falsely accuse us because that is a way, that is another form of the corruption we speak against, fighting back. Because there are people who are beneficiary of corruption. When we expose corruption in government, whether for a particular ministry, agency, or commission, the head of that agency that is the subject of that criticism, of that investigation, they have families, they have political alignment, they have people who depend on them for survivability, for livelihood. So these people, they will come in defense. Even when you are producing evidence, you are producing facts, your facts are correct, your facts are intact, they will still find a way to ridicule you. They will still find a way to question your integrity. They will do everything possible in their means and in their reach to discredit you. It's not because they do not believe in the work you do. It is just because at that moment in time, they are benefiting. The person you're criticizing, the person you are exposing, they are a beneficiary of that person. In other words, the person is the benefactor. Apparently, they own the person payroll, money allowance, or maybe the person paying a school fee, or their parents, their mother, father, uncle, extended relative work in that government ministry or agency that you are exposing. So they will fall back. Then on the flip side, people who on the other side of the political divide, they will hail you. They will then, put you on a high pedestal. Because what? You are speaking against or you are exposing their political opponents. So the work we do, it is a very crucial work. And you got to have thick skin to be able to sit behind the microphone and be putting your mouth in national issues, talking critical issues. You gotta have thick skin. But for us, we sign up for that. This is a job we decide to do. This is a job we say we would do. It is not a lucrative job. People know in Liberia, journalism is now one of the best paid jobs. It is a sacrificial job. It is a job of an activist. It is a job of a civil society. People who shine the spotlight on what need to change, speak against corruption, speak against ills in society. So we are here. Today is August 24th. We're starting a brand new day. And we are bereaved. We lost Janje Bakwe yesterday, former superintendent of Grand Bassa County during the Eastward George Weah regime. I gave her the ghost information regarding his death is scanty, but what we know for a fact is that family sources have, confirmed that yes, indeed, Janje is no longer with us. And Janje is a friend and a brother. Prior to Janje getting himself involved in the whole CDC political thing, we were very good friends. At times, we used to be on the Ghetto Street where I used to live, right alone. Before you just reach to SLR, right opposite the World Trade Center, I used to live around there. Janje at that time, LA 2006, 2007, used to do the, what you can call now the block, what we can call Ghetto Street, that is the Kiwi and Ghetto Street intersection where the guys sells, the second and the phone and so forth. Janje used to be a member of the group of guys. And from there he left, he took a political line with CDC until George Weah got elected. He got appointed as, I and Janje were good friends until Janje got appointed as superintendent. And one of my arguments against Janje at that time, peace be to his ashes, was that he was not fit to be superintendent for Grand Bassa County. That's one of my arguments. We took that argument on the radio. We did not succeed. Yet instead, Janje became superintendent. Because our critical stand against the George Weah-led government that we are doing today, we are not started this thing long. We've been in the thing close to 6, 7, 8 years behind this microphone, critiquing government, bringing government people who hold public office, we're holding them accountable because public office should be accountable to the Liberian people. So we held the CDC government responsible the past 6 years. So at that time, regardless of enemies, and my own brother and friend Janje Bakwe was one of the many enemies for me. I got it because I was very critical against the CDC government. It did not come from a place of hate. It did not come from a place of hate. It came from a place of patriotism. It came from a place of radical progressivism, seeing Liberia above personal interests. People like us, we were journalists since 2005. We provided our platform to the likes of the CDC, other opposition political party, most especially the CDC, the biggest political party at that time. They didn't have money at that time. We provided our platform to them because it was our responsibility at that time to provide a platform so that voice could be heard. We gave them the platform through us. So if people like us, people like me in particular, if I say, oh, journalism is not my calling, it is not my thing, I'm only using journalism as a springboard to get to political office and so forth, I would have been somebody in the CDC-led government. I would have taken a political side, and then, so we criticized Manasari government for 12 years, CDC came to power. We still maintain our critical stand against the CDC government. In that process, we got our enemies. A lot of people, in the likes of the Alvin Weah, who says, yeah, before CDC came to power, we provide a platform for him to air his political view, a political disagreement. We cover his protests. Our one person who even covered his trials, his expulsion from the University of Liberia, his trial. Our one person who covered that. But fast forward, when it came to political leadership, they saw some of us, they felt some of us, who are somersaulted. Yeah. But we maintain our critical stand because it was in the interest of Liberia. It was not for any personal hate. They saw all do the likes of Mama C. Kaba, the Alvin Weah, the Abu Bakr Ba, the Ishaka Sherry, all these guys, they were people we provided platform to. But when they took over political leadership, they felt we should not criticize them. We shouldn't have criticized them. And when we maintain our critical stand against them, they render us as enemy. So it was a similar situation with my dear brother and friend, Chanjo Bakwe. So until he died, we were not on, very good terms, because my critical stand I took against the CDC-led government during the term of President George Weah. Our hearts are out to the bereaved family. I'm bereaved. I can say I'm bereaved because he's a brother, he is a friend, and I hope that God could sow the bereaved family. So I thought to throw that in. So today is National Flag Day. We just want to talk briefly about Flag Day, and we're going to spend our time on the situation of the drugs. We are not going to allow the situation of the drugs to, be determined by politicians, opposition, ruling party, because it is clear that the opposition community and the ruling party, we want to refer to them a bunch of hypocritical people. Yeah, two groups of hypocritical people. People now, what happened yesterday, and they did not prosecute people, they did not bring people to book. They are carrying they are choking this government to do this. You got to do that. You got to do that. You got to do that. Hypocrite. People who could not stand up yesterday to call their own people to order, to hold their own government official accountable. Today now they are trying to play that moral card. Whereas yesterday, the very same people who in leadership, the very same thing they criticized yesterday, today now they're embracing it. So this group of people, opposition, ruling class of people, they are hypocritical people, and we will delve into their hypocrisy, and we will point it out with our fear and with our favor. So today Liberia celebrates 179 Flag Day. And so basically, the Flag Day is one of Liberia's most important national holiday because it commemorates our Flag Day. And Flag Day is basically intended to promote patriotism, national unity, our loyalty to the Republic, and the respect for our national symbols. So the legal basis for celebrating this Flag Day every August 24 is grounded in an act of national legislature that is approved. To use the word national legislature, it is not the right thing to attach national to the legislature, because we have a single legislature. Unlike the United States of America, you have state legislature and you have Congress. We don't have that yet. We only have a single legislature. So you cannot be saying, when you say national legislature, it is not appropriate. So you say the legislature, yeah, or you call it by the name. We are in the 55th legislature, the 54th legislature. Yeah. But when you say the legislature, you are referring to what? The two branches of the legislature. That's the lower house, which is the House of Representatives, and the upper house, which is the House of Senate. So you want to distinguish it, you say the lower house, which is referencing the House of Representatives, and the upper house, which is the House of Senate, or you can say the House of Senate or the House of Representatives. But when you say legislature, it means that they are combined. You are talking about both houses. So in this context, when we say legislature, the Flag Day holiday was passed by an act of legislature. It means that there was a concurrence. The lower house, either maybe the bill emanated from the lower house, they passed it, and then it went to the upper house, the House of Senate, and the Senate concurred, and it is passed, sent to the president. Both houses concur, and it's sent to the president. The president affixes his signature on that document. It is printed into him, and it becomes a law. So the act of legislature establishing the National Flag Day was passed on October 25th, 1915. That is the origin, way back in the 19th century. So basically, we accredit the flag to the design. The design of the flag can be accredited to Miss Susanna Lewis. She headed the group of women who designed the flag. So there is an important distinction between the creation and adoption of the flag in 1847. But it was passed by the other legislature. The other created it was in 1915, but it was unveiled in 1847. So that's what we have it. So you want to talk about the red, white, and blue. You want to talk about the 11 stripes. There's 11 stripes, which is 6 red stripes, 5 white stripes, and you have a blue square in the upper corner, the shining word that is referred to as the Lone Star. And this design is historically related to Liberia's close connection with the United States and the settlement of formerly enslaved free black slaves. So the meaning of the red symbolizes the blood of those who died in the struggle for independence. You know, the situation of Matata Nipo, people coming to attack, all those kinds of things. So the red symbolizes, the red in the national color symbolizes the blood of those who died in the struggle of independence. The white represents the purity of the mind, the clarity of the purpose that is associated with our forefathers, those we refer to as our forebears. And of course, the blue represents the historical symbolism and that is associated with the flag. And then, of course, you have the West Star, the single West Star represents Liberia's unique position as an independent country, the first independent country on the coast, on the west coast of Africa. So here you have it. So now, let's go to the whole situation about this trust fund. Now, I'm sensing the emergence of what we refer to as dark public relations in the fight against this trust. Dark public relations in the fight against this trust. And dark public relations is a dangerous way of communication. It is not factual. It is meant to distort the facts. It is meant to, spew misinformation, disinformation. It is meant to muddy the water and play on the intelligence or the gullibility of the Liberian people. And the whole fight against the drugs now, I haven't yet opened the phone line. So the whole fight, and I want to believe the cartel is fighting back. The cartel is fighting back because when you see someone like Martin Collins, Martin Collins coming up, investigating, putting out information, and then you see a group of people coming up, trying to counter that information, providing their own, narrative, and even their narrative cannot stand any hinge of critical thinking. Then you know that the cartel fighting back. And when we say the cartel fighting back, it doesn't necessarily have to mean the actual people, the Colombian, the Spanish, the actual people who really behind the drugs. I'm talking about the foreign people now who behind the drugs. It basically has to be people who in the government, be it opposition or people from the past government or people currently in the government that has been charged or that is linked to the corruption, and the other people who currently holding the position, who names coming out like the Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman, because they are being tied and linked allegedly to the cartel, they could be fighting back using dark public relations to undermine the credibility of somebody like Martin Collins. Now tell me, Martin is not perfect. I have not come on this platform to present Martin to the Liberian people that he is a saint. Every man has their fault. No one is infallible. But to a larger extent, you will accredit Martin Collins for his advocacy. And Martin, this young man, that is not something he's just starting. This man, when he was much younger, even still at the University of Liberia, he stood up to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. 12 years. He led protests. The same critical investigatory part he taken exposing ills in society. Martin Daly, 12 years on Ellen Johnson selling. 6 years on George Weah, he did not stop. He continued, even to an extent that it's reported that he was being haunted by the former government. He supported Joseph Yuma Boakan's United Party. Till the president acknowledged his support to the campaign, they had to name him as chairman on research and I know some kind of position they name him on. And they referred to him as what? Rescue Rambo. Rescue Rambo. That name came from what? This government. They named him what? Rescue Rambo. 6 years, he was very critical against George Open Weah. He was exposing ills in the George Weah-led government. At that time, the United Party people, they applauded him. They held him in this high esteem. They placed him on the high pedestal, which of course it was right to do because everything he was doing, it was in the interest of Liberia. 2023, he got involved in a campaign. This young man gathered for himself enemy from across all political divide. CDC was his enemy. The Alternative National Congress was his enemy. This young man, just to ensure that President Joseph Yuma Boakan, if you name him 5%, 5% that were very instrumental in terms of giving information, providing information, campaigning for Boakan, erecting chaplain against misinformation, disinformation. You will name Martin K. and Colley among those 5 individuals. You cannot take it from him. What are we seeing today? We are seeing an attack from these very people who hailed Martin Colley yesterday. These are the very same people who trying to question his integrity. They are trying to discredit his investigative skills. This man who the current president, then candidate Joseph Yuma Boakan, in the 2023 presidential and legislative election, stood on the platform in the midst of UP zealots, the overzealous people we see now that are attacking Martin Colley, the likes of Boakan Jalaba, the likes of Mo Ali, the likes of all these people you see attacking Martin Colley. The president stood in their midst and said, and gave what? Praises to Martin Colley. He said, that man not even in the country, but the man can see more than the people who are in the country. That was the president's exact word. Then Kennedy, Joseph Yuma Boakan. That was an exact word. The man not even in the country, but the man can see more than people in the country. At that time, he was referring to the lecturer, Mo Ali, who pretending now they can see everything. So you attacking this young man because what? The man is fighting to ensure that we get to the bottom of this whole drug situation. When he posts on Howard Taylor being arrested, that she's deeply entrenched, she worked in the drug cartel, they praise him. But when you talk about people currently in the government, then they want to ridicule you, they want to discredit him. You cannot have your cake and eat it at the same time. That is hypocrisy. And the thing about these things you're doing, the Liberian people watching. Liberian people know what is going on. We said this time with all number. I've said it on this platform. When Gregory Cuomo announced that Johnny Bolladin was caught or he received or admitted to receiving bribe from the 2 suspects, the Colombian and the Spanish that were in police custody. While the people were in police custody, Gregory himself admitted that Bolladin, one of his senior police officers, admitted to what? Taking 10,000 United States dollars from the suspect to provide what? Comfort. That did not come from our mouth. It came from Gregory's mouth. And Gregory just wrote the man and placed the man on a what? Investigation. Winner Kwabo, the commander for Highway Patrol, he's on an investigation and he's before the court. He said he received call from higher up to what? To escort the cocaine from Rossville to Dwazon. These are people, and then you come to Fazari Biago, Deputy Commissioner of Police, who was seconded to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency to serve as officer in charge. And here is the thing. When the whole scandal came about, close to a month, Fazari was still around here doing LDA work, going arresting people doing LDA work. Nobody from the joint security, the NSA, the immigration, the police, nobody could detect or could uncover or could unearth that the very pickup Biako was riding around, part of his convoy, was a gifted cartel pickup. It was a very same mountain collie that got to come and expose that. So we are reliably informed that Biago got seconded as an officer in charge of the LDA based upon the recommendation of what? Gregory Como. And any reasonable man will believe that. Because if the president is looking for somebody to serve as officer in charge of LDA, given all the scandal, A.B. Kroma scandal, Fadiga scandal, Bauko scandal, Anthony Swah King scandal. Before Anthony Swah came, you got Christopher Peter. There was no scandal, but we have credible intel that Christopher Peter, someone who knows he has integrity, he knew fully well that the whole drugs business, they have senior government officials, both past and current, involved in the drugs. So you want to save himself, save the integrity. He just told the president, oh, I'm tired, I won't be there. And he carried Anthony Swah there. And this very Anthony Swah man that went there, he's on record of saying people higher ups in the government, the executive, the judiciary, the legislature, they are involved with the drugs business. On a no time, he was dismissed according to the executive mansion for administrative reasons. Then Biako went there. Any logical man will know that Gregory Como was involved in Biako going there. So all the time the drug scandal came up, they found the drugs, the drugs at Dwazon. Biako still doing it well. It was this very mighty thing that would come from honeymoon. From a honeymoon, before he even discovered and produced evidence, undisputable evidence, that the president investigated. And today, where is Biako? Biako is what under the LDA. Biako is on suspension, and they say Biako is what on investigation. This very same Martin Collins. So for us and ordinary people, for the fact that the president acted on in all these circumstances, when we saw all these things, we said clearly, Mr. President, Gregory Como has lost the moral standing, the moral ground to be police inspector general or to be anywhere near the investigation. And until Martin started linking him directly, our stand was in any serious democracy, in any serious country that respect transparency, that respect accountability, that does not embrace the culture of impunity. Even if Gregory is not directly involved, for the fact that he have people under his supervision, people that takes order from him directly, he allowed those people slip from under his web. He did not monitor these people until they got involved with drugs. Like in the case of Biako, taking a drugs gator pickup. Like in the case of Winde Kwabo, who is the commander for highway patrol, escorting drugs with police syringe, and Bola Dean taking money from drug suspects to provide comfort. In any civil democracy, that alone is a ground for somebody to step aside. Even if you don't respect yourself as police inspector general, it is incumbent that it is important that you respect the sanctity of the office that you occupy, because that office is a public office. It is not a private office. If at your private venture, you go issue wrong check or you do online administrative things at your business, when a negative shock comes, you will absorb it. So we can't hold you responsible for your conduct in your private venture. But that position you hold in, it is a public position. You have been taken care of in that position by taxpayer dollars. So when there is a scandal, even if you are not directly involved, any civil country, any civil person who respect the integrity, they will step aside. A British prime minister resigned only because they went to a referendum for Great Britain to leave Europe. And he, as a prime minister, was saying, oh yeah, he was supporting the proposition that, oh, they should leave Europe. Great Britain should no longer be member part of Europe. They should be aside. And when they went to referendum, the Britons, the people of Great Britain, they voted and said, oh no, we won't stay in Europe, we won't be part of the European Union. On that basis alone, the prime minister resigned, because that alone was a policy different. Because you can be leading the people, you can be a leader of the people get different view, they get different mindset, and you as the leader, you get different vision, you get different mindset. Automatically, it means that relationship is incompatible. That's incompatibility right there. Any serious person will step aside. So from the beginning, from the very genesis, when all these revelations started coming up, senior police officer linked to the thing, we said Gregory no longer has what it takes to be police inspector general. The best thing Gregory should do is to step aside. Gregory did not step aside. He's doing cherry picking in the investigation. He's shielding some people. He's covering some people who are directly linked to the drugs. He referred to them as a person of interest. They are still rooming. We have information, and he the one even take up the leg of Michael Browning to expel from the country. And now we come today, the very same man who exposed Biako, the very same man who is saying, yeah, the police is on the red trail by investigating the former first lady. She's involved. She got herself hooked up with drug cartel members. The very same man saying it, and this very same man is saying Gregory Coleman is linked, the justice minister is linked, and then people from the Unity Party saying we should just trash it aside and say, oh no, nothing. We refuse. We say no. We say no. We will never question the credibility of Comrade Martin Collins. I can never do that. I will never, even, let's forget about every other situation Martin Collins has been investigating. On the drug situation, I can never doubt, I can never question the credibility of Martin Collins. Because you know what? Martin Collins was sitting down 1 month on a honeymoon. Nobody in the joint security, the Gregory Coleman and other investigating, they don't care dry out Taylor. Nobody in the investigatory team, NSA, LDEA, immigration, the Liberia National Police, nobody could uncover that the Peacock Biako was riding in that convoy was gifted to him by Leroy Harry, who is the middleman between the drug cartel. Nobody knew. Or for a better word, we say, oh, they knew, but they wondered why they were covering. They were covering it up. Until Martin Collins came and exposed him. And the very same denial that Justice Administration doing about it, that the same way Biako started. That exactly that the same pattern, the LDA people, immediately Martin released the first information, they went straight with a press statement. They deny it. He got no knowledge for a people. He got no knowledge of any people gave that to him by anybody. When the man started releasing video, then it prompted an investigation. And for the fact that the investigation got back for today, nowhere near security agency. They see men y'all want us to tell us say no. They see men who is also cataloging the former vice president you got in custody now for involvement or connection with the drugs cartel. You clapping for that one, you say, oh yeah, that's true. But when he say the justice minister, Gregory Cuomo, is involved, they have been routinely accepting gift, cash, and con from the drugs cartel, and you say, with all an impartial investigation, to say, oh, the president said, oh, yeah, say they can continue, Gregory step aside, let we investigate. With all that, we must not take mounting exception and put it in the dustbin. I refuse. I refuse. I will not do that. I cannot do that. And I'm saying this to the president. The president needs to be careful. The president needs to be careful. Gregory is facing a scandal of this magnitude. Gregory, the Justice Ministry, the Liberia National Police, they are in a big scandal. Yet instead, the president is mounting public platform and still expressing confidence in Gregory Cuomo. For me, in my mind, that is uncalled for. That should not be happening. Except people in the president's inner circle is telling him, say, do this, do that. But if the president is thinking like an elderly state man, and he believes that Monty Collins he appointed and he respond or whatsoever position against him during the election, if he believes that the Monty Collins he said during the campaign time, he can even see more than the people that are in the country. If he believes that the Monty Collins investigated and exposed Fazara Biago, for which now Biago is what suspended from the Liberia National Police, and they say he's facing investigation. You cannot now tell us, say, the very same man is saying wrong or he lying on Gregory Cuomo. And whereas we are seeing contradictory statements coming from the police. We follow the situation of the car from what? From the Brooklyn Park Police, Minnesota people, whatsoever it is. We follow other media network. We heard a guy calling himself and Russell Winfrey, whatever his name is, bragging on social media. Oh, the government bringing the car, police are buying the car, he's showing the car off. Investigation has shown that the both states in America, they say they bought a car from. There is nothing like that. That alone is a single, it says something. So if the man say, oh, the cartel gave you car or they gave you money to buy a car, and you say, oh, the Minnesota police gave car, we buy it for them, and investigation has proven beyond all reasonable that nothing of such happening, Mr. President, it requires investigation. And then if you jump back and say, oh, we buy the car, how can you go purchase car out of our PPCC regulation? The Public Procurement Concession Commission, there is a regulation. First of all, the regulation says government fleet management, Liberia government fleet management policy say the government cannot procure used car. Poor country like that. Poor country, they got policy. And the government can buy a used car. Somebody can buy the car, they use a brand new car. They use it for 2 days, 3 days, it becomes used car. All our government said, we can't buy that kind of car. We buy a new car. So for the fact that Gregory even went to go buy a used vehicle, that is a violation of the PPCC law. And even if you take a whole drop in it, you take a whole drop in it, you say, oh, no drop in it, you put a drop in it, one. That alone is serious ground for Gregory to move on it, because you cannot be a law enforcement officer and then you are caught while breaking the law. So even if we take this most simplest one, Violating PPCC procedures, violating PPCC guidelines and regulations, and going to procure a used vehicle. That's the first step. The second step, how did he get the money? How did the money come? What process did it follow through? So the scanner is around Gregory. And let me tell you something. You already, it is a good fight. The government extending its tentacles across. When I grab Madam Taylor, she will answer for whatever involvement and support or arrest. She will answer to these charges. In the coming days, what we are hearing, there are other senior figure, former government official already in the legislature. They will bring indictment against them. We look forward to that. But the man who is part of the investigation, who is a member of the team that is leading the investigation, he has an issue. That issue needs to be addressed. Until you address Gregory Coleman issue and provide that clarity the Liberian people currently seek, other people from the opposition, and even neutral people, people who are non-position, who have no political alignment, but they have the critical thinking faculty, they will be asking questions. Why is it that? What's the interest in the Gregory Coleman man? When the very same Gregory Coleman man mounted the Ministry of Information platform and said, senior government official, of this government is involved in the drugs. Why is Gregory State Police Inspector General? Why is Gregory riding a vehicle that is not registered? It is not a government-owned vehicle, but he's using it to do government work. Even if they rose to Kingston later, they say, "Oh, I buy a vehicle for him." That vehicle, wherever, it's unethical that you'll be using a private vehicle and doing government job, whereas you have the means to get government get vehicle for you to use. Is that ethical? Is that ethical? So with that drug situation, is a very terrible situation. We need to fight the drugs, but we can be clapping when it catch other people that are not in our political line. Then we say, "Oh yeah, we're fighting the drugs." Then when they come to our doorstep, they will want to question the credibility of the very person who exposed the other person who not in our camp, and we clapping. They will want to question our person's integrity. That is the hypocrisy in the whole fight. That is the hypocrisy in the whole fight. There should be no secret cow in the fight against drugs. And when the president start trading on the kind of land, when the president tell the kind of land, then it gets out. It put her in the position to listen to some speculation and start investigating. When they say, "Oh, when they say senior government official, top ranking official of the government involved, and they are closer to the executive," it gives other people the impression that, "Oh yes, maybe the president knows people closer to him involved in the drugs business." So he's trying to shield this one man who has all it takes to expose the people. Gregory should be nowhere near Police Inspector General position. He should be nowhere near the investigation. The man got 3 people, 3 ranking officers under his direct supervision that is involved with the drugs business. The president has taken action against them already. They're before court. Then why the men must still be there? Even if you say, "Oh, the men are involved," anything. But for the fact that you get the man the position to head that entity, that is dereliction on his duty and his responsibility. That right on his nose, his senior police officer having contact, aiding and abetting the drug trade, and you say, "We must get rid of these people and leave the head there." Are you telling us that the tail rotting, the stomach rotting, but the head is still intact? What reasoning is that? That's not a good reasoning. That's not a good reasoning. You put Martin Colley investigation one side. Any country that supports transparency, accountability, will now have Gregory Coleman now as Inspector General. Because as it stands, he has murdered the investigation. for somebody like Martin Colley to be directly linking Gregory Cuomo to it, it means the investigation, and Gregory still sitting there, it means the investigation as well being muddy. Any other thing you do to other people from the previous government that allowed the drugs, people don't want to believe you. People don't want to believe you. People don't want to believe you. They've been accused of the justice minister of taking car from the cartel through Gregory Cuomo. The justice minister comes out, he does not deny outrightly. He said, oh yeah, they gave me car, but Gregory gave me the car. What sense does it make that you're in a government institution? The justice ministry is the supervisor of the Liberia National Police. The justice ministry, in our jurisprudence, it is the only minister because he has the government legal arm, the government lawyer as attorney general. It is the only minister statutorily that can disagree with the president and say, Mr. President, we can't go that way. He's the one that fighting government cases, putting people to court, prosecuting corruption. He is the head, the supervisor of the Liberia National Police. Gregory reports to him, and then you tell us, say, your honor, man, get you car. How does that sound? So how they running the government? How is the government running? Huh? How is the government running? So the whole drug thing is entrenched. And the president needs to close his ears to people within his inner circle. Because when you hold rope and hold bush, somebody needs you hearing. All he needs you hearing. They have people around the president that are betting for them. And they believe leaving Gregory Cuomo, going for Gregory Cuomo, will expose that connection, that deeds, and all those kinds of things there. Who have thought today, the level living, who have thought in their wildest imagination that someone like Joel Howard Taylor will be today charged with those grave crimes, those charges, facilitating it, transportation, distribution of drugs. It is shocking to many people. People have a way of doing things to cover themselves. Why am I here to say, oh, everything the government say against Joel Taylor is right? Our law says every accused is presumed innocent until they are proven guilty before a court of competent jurisdiction, and that conviction must be what? It must be with all reasonable doubt. But that is a charge that is before us. We're having that to confront ourselves with. It is the current situation. So Gregory can be police director, Mr. President. You have a legacy to protect. People will be applauding you to say, oh yeah, the president did well. And I agree. To some extent, you're doing well. In George Vietnam, we did not see anybody get dismissed, anybody get suspended, or anybody on investigation because of drugs. The $100 million drugs situation we saw here, those people went to the court, they got free, they left on here. So we will applaud the president for taking this step. And we see people that deputy manager died on the airport for operation, getting involved, arrested, DA pressing when, highway patrolman on an investigation. So forth, you making effort. But if you make the effort and only extend to most especially in the security sector, to the lower hanging fruits, the insignificant guys, you push them under the bus. Then when you come in the executive, you go over there, lay people in, and you forget about the higher ups and you lead them. The threat, your job threat will still have question mark. They say, oh yeah, even though you try, we care, but the point when you carry, you protect that, it mean people then. And it will be incomplete because something that is not done completely, it is not done at all. So, Mr. President, Gregory Cuomo should not be police inspector director, police inspector general. No, this man is conflicted. The scandal that is surrounding the man is just too much. It's just too much. They may recommend Biago to you. Biago, when there was discovered that Biago was doing business with the cartel. Broad daylight, the man is riding in a cartel gifted vehicle and he acting and infecting drugs. You go by the late man, you go by the use on it. You told Bobby Roy to put in pick up for using, I know, $40 worth of grass or whatever. They made huge publicity stunt out of him. But they're protecting the big people in the actual financier, the people who know, who are caught in the shop. Before you even get down to the low man, and they're protecting it. That was a wrong step, Mr. President. For you to have gone on the public platform at the boat launch and praise Gregory Cuomo and say you have explicit confidence in Gregory Cuomo, but by extension, you are telling Martin Collins, I mean, sit down. We got time for your investigation here. That way you do not for nothing. But yet instead, it was based upon Martin Collins' revelation that you commission an investigation into what? Biago. And the investigation found it that yes, indeed, he was found liable. We know all those things are covered up. You see, they didn't get hard to hide. It is very difficult to conceal the thing. Because the Liberian people are not gullible as the way you politicians think. Anything you spew on, and the dangerous thing about it is that we are in a digital stage. We are in a digital age. People can reach people, a wide audience, and people getting educated. So there's the dangerous thing. There is a ramification, Mr. President. If you feel you must shield some people then, because you have expressed confidence in them, and you think by going for them and taking administrative action against them, placing them on an investigation, it will mean that you are a weak president. No, Mr. President, it will make you stronger. We got to think about it. You can appoint people, but you cannot vouch for people's reputation. You cannot vouch for people's character. Government is large. Most of the people you have in places and things, you don't know them personally, Mr. President. There are other people who you know, two other people who recommend these people. Most of the people in government, the deputy minister and assistant minister and all the people, you don't know them. You cannot vouch to say you know everybody, and you give an appointment letter to all, you give an opportunity to serve the country. You don't know them. You don't know them. You appointed them, you gave them a job based upon recommendation of people you feel you know, you trust, and you feel that recommendation will be in the best interest of the country. So when you uncover, when you get to know that these people recommending to you, they are not working in the interest of the country, the responsibility is upon you, Mr. President, to take action. The power to dismiss and to appoint, it is in your purview, it is with you. Article 52 of the Constitution gave you that authority. Most people in the executive, except for attorney position, where you got to go to the Senate, you got to be for proving cause, either corruption, malfeasance, or something, and you got to be in, you got to go to the Senate approve it, even though we've seen instances where you took people off attorney position, you did not consult the Senate, you pay someone and buy some, you did not pay back. But most people, everybody in the executive, work at your will and your pleasure. The Constitution gave you many to say, oh, when you prepare a certain person, it must be for just reason. You must give reason why you suspend. You can suspend, you dismiss anybody. That is your constitutional right. So do not allow people in your surrounding. Do not allow people in your surrounding blind you from the reality. Because at the end of the day, it is you who is the president. The Liberian people did not vote for Mo Ali. No. The Liberian people did not vote for Geraldine Pia. The Liberian people did not vote for Daniel Sano. They did not vote for Augustine Gaffman. They did not vote for all these people you get job. It is you, the Liberian people, voted for. By extension, the Liberian people did not even vote for Jeremiah. It was you that saw on that ticket, you are the head of the ticket. He contributed because he comes from a vote rich county, yeah, but the Liberian people protect you. And the responsibility is upon you to take the hard decision. Because after your administration, it is you, the Liberian people, will judge. When the people rather criticize George Weah now, they can say Samuel Tuer led CDC government. They can say George Weah or Weah Taylor led government. Somebody will say. They can refer to Samuel Tuer. They can refer to using Fakon, who once served in that government, but now he's in this government. All the plea is before George Weah. It's for George Weah. And you will be no abstention, Mr. President. You will be no abstention, Mr. President. I believe there are people in your circle who are shielding corrupt people that is attached, directly attached to the drug situation. And that is how, and when we start playing it around, we will not win a war against drugs. When we be dishonest in the fight against drugs, we start cherry picking. We got the president from my party, they involve, they play minimum role. So let me inflate their own role they play, to make it look good. They mean I'm my own party man. He supported me in the election. He campaigned for me. The role in the drugs business is high. I will minimize a role. We got one for the be, then we are inevitably harming ourselves. And what you know what we are doing? We are giving the cartel more ground to say we can succeed because the government is divided. People in the government divided. Other people fighting for, other people fighting against, other people protecting, other people, they even protecting some people in the opposition. From what we are hearing, other people in the government, they are protecting people in the opposition. Because if when those higher up in the opposition exposed, it will work. There will be a trait. It will lead to them. So they're supporting them. And I need not to tell you the negative impact, the negative effect of drugs on our society. I need not to tell you, Mr. President. You are aware. That is why you campaign on drugs. You campaign on drugs. You said the proliferation of drugs in the society was an alarming rate. Our youthful population was losing their lives, their whole future to the drugs epidemic. And you campaign on that. Many mothers in many slum communities across Monrovia, across Liberia, they voted for you purposely because of your commitment that you will fight drugs. That in your fight against drugs, there will be no sacred cow. You will go across regardless who's involved. But Mr. President, that cannot only be by action. It must be by deeds. The Liberian people must see you doing the action. The Liberian people must see the action. There are a lot of people who have been named as persons of interest who have been charged. We are not seeing prosecution. As a stand now, the whole 19 million drugs, that whole one, and I died. Well, parking and what thing happening when I know it not die. The $300+ million cocaine has taken over, and yet instead the investigation is going well. A kind of way that the Liberian people are not satisfied. If you open the line, if I open the line, and the line of questioning will be whether Gregory Coleman must stay or move, many people will say, given the circumstances, given the revelation, Gregory Coleman should not be police inspector general. And this is that simple. The simple thing is that the very man who is accusing Gregory Coleman, calling names, calling Gregory attachment, what Gregory doing, disclosing the issue of vehicles, so forth, tying the Justice Ministry to receiving vehicle from Gregory Coleman that allegedly was given by the cartel people. This man has been one of your strongest men. You even appointed a man. You trust a man ability. You appointed a man on the Arab task force. When he went in a task force, according to him, there were people, they want to verify us to get access. They thinking about salary. So he went, he resigned. It should have said something to you. You trusted that man. You named that man on your campaign team. That man fought. That man The man generated, created enemies for himself from across all party lines just to see you become president. You become president, you begin president, the man is still supporting you. He joined the drugs fighting, asking you to fight against the drug. Then the very same man can come and say, hey, your police inspector general is involved in the drugs here. And then you say, oh no, you brush the man aside. That is wrong. So you are telling up for the fact that you have expressed confidence in Gregory Coleman. Even if they caught Gregory Coleman with cocaine in your hand, you, the president, you will say, oh, that AI cocaine. And what it speaks to that something maybe you know, and Gregory Coleman know that the Liberian people do not know. Yeah. You know, the Liberian people know that Gregory Coleman do not, that you know, Gregory Coleman know, and the Liberian people is in the dark. And that is that thing we need to know. Why is Gregory Coleman still Inspector General of the Liberia National Police? These are scandals. In serious society that respects the rule of law, that respects accountability, even if these allegations are not true, but given the fact that the man is coming from, he has been very instrumental in investigating and exposing wrongdoing. And you, Mr. President, you have been on record of taking action based upon this man's investigative findings. You cannot come back today when you come in the case of Gregory Coleman, your police chief, and you say, oh no, let's look at it thoroughly. On that basis alone, any serious person with moral, who have principles, who will not be a hypocrite, that the principle can shift when they're not in power, who do not have the characteristics of a hypocrite, they will step aside. They will step aside. The best thing we'll do is to what? Step aside. So you see what they're doing now? Because they want to muddy the water, they want to confuse the Liberian people. They introduce, people, agents of what? Dark public relations. You see somebody like Costa is gradually coming back to media prominence. Because what we understood, he has been hired by the government to sway the narrative, and he has a gift. You cannot take that for him. But that gift he has, the Liberian people are no longer gullible as the way you used to think they used to be. You cannot bring an inconsistent person. The man who his whole life, he has proven to be somebody who have no principles. Today he here, tomorrow he there. Today he here, tomorrow he there. He flip-flopping, he gallivanting from political party to political party. And currently, as it stands in the Joseph Yoma Burger government, he has a mining business. He's mining, he has a mining site, and he's making money. And you think, because you bring that kind of man back to the public, to sway public perception, you think the Liberian people will listen to somebody like Costa and say, oh yeah, like you Costa talking? Costa has lost his relevance. There is a man, when having a podcast, for the announcement to say, oh, I'm having a podcast 1 o'clock. Just to announce that he's having a podcast 1 o'clock. You will see hundreds and hundreds of Liberians on that post. Thousands of Liberians on that post. But this is a man. And for us, we are investigators and investigate these things. The last time he had podcast about Sekou Double situation, we look at it close to 1 hour. You could not even amass serial view. And every comment on his post, majority comment on his post was condemning his action. This is not the kind of man, even if you want to fight back and you feel poor, the man is not the kind of man to come fight, because you want to look at the messenger. Who is the messenger? Costa? Is Costa the messenger? Costa, who was criticizing Manaseri government through all, but he hadn't stayed here, made her to take 5,000, he took 5,000 from her. Costa, who was being used in the Manaseli government, but few people in the Unity Party government. He was used as a propaganda machinery against other people in the Unity Party government. Is this the Costa? Eh? The Costa who went beyond ALP, they came to join the CPP. They did all that propaganda against Alexander Cummings because Alexander Cummings said you want to be president. They violated their own framework document. They lied on their own framework document. They lied on Cummings. They spoiled the ANC, the CPP rather. That meaning the election, he and Boyka fall off. While Boyka did not choosing to be running mate, or while Boyka did not consult him to hear a political leader, Bernard Uwe, and to choose Jeremiah Kun as running mate, he left Boyka. He said some of the nastiest things about Kennedy Joseph Yuma Boyka. He disclosed President Kennedy Joseph Yuma Boyka medical record. He said everything derogatory. Election time, he flipped to George Weah. The very George Weah he criticized 5 years and a half. He criticized George Weah, supporting Boyka. He flipped by one of George Weah. Eh? And even during the 2017 election, all that thing he did, he started with Boyka first. The Boyka the new ticket, a wicked ticket. He went, he jumped out when he bought the support in ceremony. He said, oh, a Jorobo, a better, but when you take it, you can get you. But don't take pressing. When CDC came to power, the first 1 year 6 months, this man was what? Propagating CDC messages. Propagating CDC messages for money. Somewhere down the line, when it fell off, he turned against CDC. His argument was, oh, but they were fooling me. They were getting me wrong information. So saying I followed, they gave me wrong information. I repented, I left it. He joined the United Party. He joined the CPP. They fought for the Council of Patriots. They protesting against George Weah. They did all kinds of things. He said the worst things about George Weah. Some of the things he even used to say on the radio, we got that those are on the basis. The legs of Kochi got censure. The legs of Mackay got censure, and so forth. You were with Boyka. On the eve of election, he left Boyka. That is it. Boyka not informed me who they went to. I running made it. Jeremiah Kun, I running made it was disrespect to the ALP. So far, he left Boyka. He didn't keep quiet. So say, oh, speaking against Kennedy Boyka now would be wrong. I had nothing to say. Traffic. He said the worst about Boyka within a period of election. They formed war room and all. So money when George Weah said that war room. He and his sister Tala Yue, Ben Sembi, they said it there. They formed war room. You went on, you go on stay with all that thing. You go on stay, you won the election. Right? You won the election, others on time, after even through that process, after they announced the election results, waiting for that time for inauguration, he was still whining and dining with Weah. He was in the midst of people who went to the Unification Park to do the dedication. He was there. And he told over people, say, oh yeah, the man fought too much, your dependable nephew fought too much, you brought him back. You gave him money area, the junior league, doing a late money thing, he getting your money. You think the Liberian people don't know that man does not have credibility. If you place Martin Colley here and you place Herman Costa here now, majority of the Liberian people, even those from the CDC who hold Martin Colley responsible for George Weah losing election, you put him and Costa face to face, they will close their eye and they will support Martin Colley and leave Costa. Because to a larger extent, Martin Colley has been independent. He has had no political alignment. If Martin Colley had political alignment today, he will be in the government or he will just be supporting everything. You will not even be investigating, you will not even be calling for what the dismissal and investigation of Gregory Cuomo. But he has advocated for, and people like us, as radical progressive, people like us, it is people like Martin Colley who will support in the interest of our country. We don't support people like Costa, who can, we're not standing for anything, he's fighting for everything. That man pocket is deep. The man is bragging now and he will be a millionaire any moment from now. That is why he's receiving from the government. The government protects him. They gave him lesson to go mine. He mining gold. He's shipping gold out of here. He's making money. So what do you expect? You want to take that man war against somebody who the government get job, say work in the Iraq, the asset retrieval and property retrieval task force, and on less than 6 7 months, he said they were not working. They didn't even retrieve asset here. They're renting building, they're doing big billboards, all that kind of thing, and fighting corruption. About erecting big billboards and so forth. And the man resigned. The couple of months he worked for, he did not even take money. For the couple of months he worked for, he resigned from Iraq, and he stayed here exposing ills in the government, in the society. You want to compare that kind of man? You want to listen? You want to trust that man investigative report for a man like Costa? For a man like Costa? From ANC to ALP, ALP to CDC, CDC back to United Party 4-4. You got all over the corner. This man is a why? He is the dark popular religion agent we are talking about. That popular religion agent. He's a covert operator. He's deceptive. He's manipulative. He's unethical in communication campaign. Yes, because he's a dark public relation officer. They do covert, deceptive, manipulative, unethical communication campaign to influence public opinion. So what you see Costa doing now, it is so what negatively influence public opinion against the removal of what? Gregory Cuomo, or against the investigation of Gregory Cuomo, and he's being paid. And this doesn't a mistake again made. You want somebody to talk, whoever you, or to fight, whatever you think Martin is calling is investigating, then you bring Costa. You think Costa is the real voice? No. Costa cannot be the real voice. Costa cannot be the real voice. They may want on the radar used to be causing Ellen, criticizing Ellen. He joined on and made him money for Ellen. They may want in the unity. They have block in the United Party. He have block of people within the United Party that were supporting him to go against some group of people in the United Party. This man is a man who are leading a campaign against the sale of black, 13 all black. He has gone to seal the Center for the Exchange of Intellectual Opinion. At the time he was massive, he had a voice. He and Minnie Parker Dumeye on a hard FM. When he speaks, people listen to him. When he said the Costa show is coming on, the nation is waiting. That means to the protestant, the man called off the protest as a general. He called off the protest, and the only reason Costa called off that protest against the state of black, 13 all black, because he said his godfather, Bernard Yue, had called him and informing him that the president, Ellen Johnson, said he had called him to what? To do away with the protest. And according to him, since after the war, since Taylor left, Ellen Johnson, Sirleaf, and Bernard Yue have not been on speaking terms. It was because of him. President Ellen Johnson, Sirleaf, that time called Bernard Yue, and Bernard Yue, for Bernard Yue to prevail on him to what? And in the midst on Kerry Street, where people were gathering to go to the Capitol building, where a group of people at Capitol building, he turned the protest down. He said, well, I'm in protest. And when I asked you about, when I go protest, now I'm saying happy your father behind me. You know, I was there. I'm not fabricating. You know, the Bernard Yue doing for me. Bernard Yue will call me and say, y'all are going for you can stay behind people. So they may whole lot. He has been locked or scheme away. True. And people think that looking at somebody or permanent. A man who has a blessing from the government, he's doing money. What do you expect that man to do? A man who on the eve of 2023 run-up election, he had the nastier things to say about Joseph Boyka. That man is the man who made us to know that Kennedy Joseph Boyka was slated for a bypass surgery. It is the man who brought Kennedy Joseph Boyka health issue, medical issue to us in the public. It is the man who used to tell us, he used to wire money to Joseph Yuma Boyka. It is the man who told us that when the United Party was evicted from the Kokota headquarters or getting ready to be evicted, he rallied money, he rallied for money. He generated money and gave it to President Boyka, former vice president at that candidate to pay. He said the man ate all the money. Is the same man who is on record Say during the COVID-19 period, he generated money and sent it for the campaign to go do some donation. The black president, that time the Kennedy, the black guy ate that money. He said all the nasty things. And that was because that was 5 years when you were crossing Georgia. I was saying all the things about Georgia, supporting the United Party, supporting the CPP. That the kind of man you won't believe against somebody who I want to say to a larger extent has credibility in what he do, in the job he do, in his investigation he do. So if the president was listening to Paul Acosta and still lavishing praises on Gregory Coleman with all this kind of vehicle, all the kinds of things, and you will not even initiate or commission an investigation and say, all these things, what the people then talking, what Martin talking, so all that kind of thing are begging you up. That would set up the law in it. And you just want to brush the man aside. Then it make us to believe, somebody like me, it put me in the frame of mind to believe that, yes, indeed, the president got something he's hiding. And the first theory that will come out about it, Josh Bennett say, oh, the president's son is involved, people within the president family is involved, what we call Vito, like they say cartel people, and the president's son, Jojo Braga, even admitted that people contacted him and he contacted them back. He admitted that he went with somebody in Spain, so forth. The president, the way he's taking the Gregory Coleman issue, is making somebody like me to believe that there is some believability to the initial narrative that surrounded the drugs. And Costa should not be somebody you can listen to. Because if you even be telling Costa the moment when you want to talk, you know, you be inferring, don't be linking up. This man has a very terrible record, inconsistent record. He's a dark public relation agent for the government. He want to be manipulative. He think he can dissuade the Liberian people to be promoting, concealing information, creating all kinds of false identity, doing all kinds of things. But the Liberian people are elite. There is no fabricated document. You can't invent allegation. You can't manipulate anything to, sway the Liberian people mind and thinking for this trust. And this trust is at the feet of the president. And we'll hold President Braga responsible. We'll hold him responsible. While we acknowledge his effort, his step he's taking, he cannot cherry pick in the fight against drugs. Gregory's credibility is unquestioned. Gregory has provided too much contradiction in relation to the drugs, in relation to the car he received, and in the manner and form he treating people who we refer to as suspect and person of interest. We're putting you on record, Mr. President. We are putting you on record, and there will be a political ramification. Trust me, there will be a political ramification. The people voted against George Weah, Mr. President. You're not better than George Weah. Liberian people can also vote against you when you fail to what? To live up to their expectation. You want to protect people, you will what? Face the wrath of the Liberian people. Let's go to the phone line. 0770-1313-18086-272-620. This is Focus Straight Talk on Focus Radio 105.3. My name is Emmanuel Chidaga Kaswa. I'm here on this Monday, August 2024 edition of the program Focus Straight Talk on Radio 105.3. 0770-1313-180. 0886-272620 are the numbers to call for you to make your input on the program. 0770-1313-180. 0886-272620 are the numbers to call right here, and you will get through and make your point. Our first caller. Good evening. I'm doing great. Your name and where you join us from? That's how you, Chief. Thank you. Thank you so kindly. Let's take call 770-1313-188-627-2620 are the numbers to call, and you'll get through and make your input on this edition of Focus Trade Talk. 07's caller is here. Good evening, caller. The name and where you call from? Let's hear you, Chief. Mom, brother. You are live. Let's hear you. All right. Thank you. Thank you so kindly for your input. Let's take a caller right here. Good evening. Is this journalist Jonah Freeman? Yeah, I remember you. Let's hear you, Chief. No, my man, you can't use it. You can't say the president's embarrassment, my man. You can't say that. Yeah. No, but we track that, my man. You can't say the president is an embarrassment. All right, let's hear you. Okay. Oh, my man, you in mainstream parties again? You going to protest? Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Jonathan. All right, let's leave it at Jonah. Let's take more calls. Thank you. Thank you for your input. Let's take more calls. Good evening. How are you, ma'am? Let's hear you, Mother Victoria. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That was it. Let's take more calls. 0770-13131-8086272620. Good evening. Good evening. Your name and where you call from, Chief? Let's hear you, Kemuka. Many happy return. Okay. Oh, no, there's no man. I said the Liberian people will not take anybody over anybody. If you fail on the fight against corruption or drugs, the Liberian people, the way they voted and Joseph and George, we are all, they will vote you up. And I'm telling that. Who former senator in Agodo? Okay, yeah, she wants a senator. All right. Okay. Okay, Kemuka, let me ask you, because you sound very critical and intelligent. Don't you think, or isn't it feasible for Gregory Cuomo to step aside for the fact that Gregory Cuomo, under his wife, Bola Dean, was caught receiving bribe from the cartel? Under his wife, Willa Kwabo, who is the head of Highway Patrol, is already in court for escorting the drugs, and for the fact that we've seen Fazari Biago, who is Deputy Commissioner of Police, was seconded to the LDEA. He got caught with the cartel. So as the head of that entity, don't you think a call for a need that he step aside? Thirty seconds. So, are you, Kamuka, are you not concerned about the allegation that is coming from someone who has been credible in investigation where Matthew Colley is linking him to taking vehicle from cartel? Yeah? So you're not taking that in consideration also? All right. Okay, thank you for coming out. Thank you. We got to take orders. Yeah, thank you so kindly. That's a more call 770-131-318-8662. Good evening. Hey, my man, Toya, leader man, Toya, leader man. Yeah, Toya, Oh, I let it. Let it be call you. Good evening, caller. Your name and where you join from? I'm doing great, and you? Let's hear you. Thank you. Thank you, Chief. Thank you so kindly. Thank you. Let's take calls. Let's take more calls here on Focus Straight Talk on Focus Radio 105.3, 0770131318, 0862722620. Good evening. All right, President Boaga has failed. Jonah, let's leave it there. Let's take more call. Thank you. Okay, let's take this call here. Good evening. Your name and where you join from? Let's hear you, Dolo. All right, let's hear you. I agree with you. I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you. Thank you. Thank you so kindly. Thank you. And that was a very salient point because like what Jonah, the issue Jonah raised about the 1,200 third-party deportee, if the executive did not inform the legislature, it is now in the purview of the legislature to summon the executive. Yeah. That take call. Good evening. Your name and where you call from, Chief? Let's hear you, Stephen. The judiciary? Why you say so? Sure, yeah. Because speedy trial, access to speedy trial is a fundamental right. All right, thank you. 30 seconds quickly. All right. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take another call. Thank you, Chief. Thank you for your input. Let's take call 0770-131-180-8627-2620. We're going to take 5 more calls and then we draw down the curtain on this edition. Good evening. Your name and where you call from, Chief? Moses calling from where? Okay, let's hear you, Moses. No, but initially when I went to go effectuate the arrest, she was on personal interest, but after they interrogated her for a full 5 hours, they elevated her from personal interest to a suspect. So all right. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Thank you so kindly. Let's take 4 more calls and then we'll draw down the curtain on this Monday, August 24th edition of the program, Focus Straight Talk. Good evening. Your name and where you join from, Chief? You call from what? Wow, so you're getting us in Bomi County. Loud and clear. Okay, thank you. Let's get your point. Thank you. All right. All right. Thank you, Benjamin Barclay. I mean, you get a name, you get my last, you get the last name of our manager. My manager is all right. I'll buy that Congo mail. 0770-181-1313-18086272620. Let's squeeze in at least 2 more, and then we can call it a day on this August 24th edition of the program. Focus Straight Talk on Focal Radio. Let's squeeze this one in. Good evening. You're my last caller. Your name and where you call from. Let's hear you, Gibson. My man, your money got harmonized. I did not call you all. So let me replace Gibson with one more. 0770-131-380886272620. Focus Straight Talk on Focal Radio 105.3 FM. My name is E.G. Gagaswa Senior. I'm your regular presenter. God's willing, I'll be back here tomorrow, and you will not see me Wednesday. You see me Thursday, and you will see me Friday as we discuss issues that borders on. Let's squeeze our last caller in. Good evening, caller. Your name and where you join from? Let's hear you, Charles. You're my last caller. Oh. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So there you have it. As I'd like to leave you on this Monday, August 24th edition of the program, Focus Straight Talk. By God's willing, I will be back here tomorrow, same time, 10 to 12. Until I speak to you tomorrow evening, I'm out of this place.